people online, now we know. So if you're online and you want to introduce yourself, do so in the chat, and then it'll come up, it'll be on the board up here. Okay, before I go any further, I just want to let people know, in our constant effort to improve, we've come up with yet a different model for how we set up the room. And in this model, people online, you should know that we now have 2 cameras. All the speakers will be invited to come up to the podium, and you will see them. There's a camera pointed at the podium. But if you get tired of looking at whoever is up here, including myself, just switch over to the other camera and you'll see everybody who's in the room. So you have a choice at home. You can control whether the speaker is in your face or the audience is in your face. And then of course, give us feedback. We think that this kind of blends the 2 things that we were looking for. And then of course, when there's a presentation of slides or something like that, that will come up on your screen at home, and here it will come up on this big screen right here. Okay, with that said, as having asked people to introduce themselves, the next point on the agenda is, have we established quorum?
I have difficulty defining that with my resources here. I doubt it from the number of people that are online, but
How many do we need again?
How many people in the room are members? You've been to 5 of the last 12 meetings. So we have 1, 2, 3. Raise your hands high. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just in the room.
oh yeah, and then 12, 13, 14. I don't think that's in 15. I'm sorry, I can't define it while I'm here. I can look, I can try and do it, but
Okay,
it's
so
gonna take me a
a
minute.
little bit later on. Yeah, not a problem. If we define quorum, then we will go ahead and approve the minutes. We're gonna move on right now. Okay, financial report. Patricia, can you, if you can, come on video? Good, if you can't, that's okay.
Give me one, give me 1 minute here. I was just coming out of another meeting. Hold on. Hold on. So disregard my background going here because that was for another meeting. But for this one, let's see. The only expense we have for this month was $215.98. That's attributed to the web hosting that we get every year for the wonderful job that Adam does, which gives us a total of $4,454.53.
Please note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Patricia. Please note, ladies and gentlemen, that we do have a website, and we try to share with people. If someone asks you about the management team, you can send them to the website. And what they'll find down there is our minutes, the reporting, who's a member, all the information about the management team. So just be aware, and we are paying for that, so let's use it. Any questions about Patricia's report? I see none in the room. I'm gonna unpin you and look to see any questions online. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. I see no questions online. Thank you very much, Patricia. Okay, moving right along. We now are going to go to the police report. Sergeant Alvarado, are you with us?
He just messaged me and said that he's having issues and he's logged. He's trying to get back in.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm running around trying to.
I know, no, we got you. I know.
If you can get him on, if not, we'll move
No,
on.
yeah, he was
No, he's
here
right
and
there.
then he should be back now.
Okay.
Yep, he's on. He's staying.
Okay, here we go. Sergeant, I don't. Oh,
He's
there
at
he
the
is.
bottom.
Okay, yeah, he's
There.
connecting audio. There he is, right here. Where you go?
There he is.
Oh, there he is. Okay, perfect.
Sorry about that.
No problem. There you go. We're so used to having you in person. Welcome online.
Yeah,
What news you have?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, sorry, I had another commitment I had to get to. So I decided to join online. Yeah, so I don't have a full report this month. We had a lot going on. I'm also in charge of East Shore. Hopefully that's not going to be my plate after this month. So I can solely focus on Fairhaven. But I did want to talk about, we did have 3 people shot in Fairhaven in the month of June. June 6th, June 8th, and then just the other day on June 29th. Uh, Grant and Fillmore was the first one, and then one was at the catwalk after at 4 o'clock in the morning on June 8th. And the other one was the other day was 195 Ferry Street. That's been a very difficult spot for us. Been working with LCI, zoning, building, trying to get it shut down. That's the old smoke shop. Used to be a barber shop before that, a bodega before that, in the corner of Ferry and Salt and Stall. I guess they've been having illegal after hours parties. And there was a shooting inside. 2 people shot, got there overnight. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. It shouldn't have been open, obviously. But we did meet. The city met on Tuesday or a couple of days ago. We met in person with the owner of the building. We're there in the process of evicting the tenants. Hopefully, they could voluntarily evict to make the process quicker and expedite it. But there might be some legal issues on that aspect. But I'm hopeful that it won't happen again as the tenants are ignoring the detectives that are trying to get a hold of them. So I doubt that they're going to be operating overnight on that. Other than that, we still continue to see the vehicle break-ins, a lot of them in Fairhaven. It's not just in Fairhaven, we're getting them all over the city, but definitely more in Fairhaven than we are in other areas of the city. And common denominator on that is when people leave items inside of their car and they're breaking the window to see what's in it. Then burglaries have been about the same. Nothing out of ordinary, no trends. We did make some burglary arrests and a couple of robbery arrests. The robberies were mostly it wasn't like random. It was some known aspect of it, but we were able to make some arrests on that. And did make several arrests on other quality of life issues. Grant and Lloyd has been plagued with numerous issues, and we made extreme progress. It's not perfect, but it's definitely extreme progress with the drug dealing and drug use in the area on Grand between specifically Maltby and Lloyd, and then Lloyd between Clay and Grand. Other than that, I'll leave it up to questions, comments, and concerns, Lee.
Thank you very much for that report. First, I'm gonna ask if there are questions in the room, Susan.
You want me to come up?
No, because we can see you and hear you.
Okay, I'm Susan Hackett. I live in the Bottling Works condominiums. And my neighbors have asked me to ask you to watch out for the fireworks in the Quinnipiac River Park last year. They were really extensive and there was a great deal of damage done to our roof. So if you could just go through there, not just tomorrow, but the whole weekend, and make sure there are no illegal fireworks being set off. I checked right before I came and I didn't see any being set up. Last year, they started to set up a couple of days early, so I'm hoping that means there won't be any, but we would appreciate it if you could check for us. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. Was it you, Suzanne, that I spoke to? I forgive me, I don't have my notes with me. But I did speak with representatives from the Bottle Works, and I think we met last year as well after the fireworks. And that was the big denominator there when they had they set up the U-Haul trucks and they had like guard. They stay and fire watch over the fireworks. And it sounds like that's not happening right now, which, like you mentioned, it's obviously a good thing. But it is on our radar. We do have obviously, 4th of July is probably our busiest day of the entire year. Tomorrow, especially, it doesn't help that it's on a Friday and it's going to be really nice. So the whole department is pretty much, I say 95% of the department is called in that day, either from 4 in the morning all the way up until 11 p.m. because it really starts with Lighthouse, and I will most of my attention and energy will be at Lighthouse, starting at 5 a.m. All the way to the night. But we'll have it on our radar. We do have our regional bomb team. They'll be on the road starting at 4 p.m. They'll work 4 p.m. to midnight. And that's all they're doing is going around looking for stuff like that. So if you do see a large gathering, like a fireworks show that you could tell there's a bunch of fireworks in the trunk or or wherever you see it, please call it in to the non-emergency number, as we could, the earlier the better, as we could get people out there.
Thank you very much. Any other questions in the room? Yes, please, and then we'll go online.
Question, 3 shootings you said, was any fatal?
No fatal.
Nothing,
Yeah, hospital is amazing.
No. Anyone online with a question, please raise your hand so I can acknowledge you, or unmute yourself and ask your question. I don't see any questions online. I see one more question in the room. Yes, sir.
The sidewalks, they are taking over, they are taken over by Veo. I think, now I see some places, there's a white box for them. There is also bicycles parking on the electric bikes, park on the sidewalk. Every time I see such events, including the city's post on another street over there, I think I'm losing my sidewalk. Now, on top of that, youth is making the sidewalks a parking, an alley for riding bikes. And then there's a recent incident that happened to me on Chapelle and East. Coming down over the bridge, a kid lost control. Almost older, 4 or 5 years old. He was on his bike. He was going downhill. He lost control. He bumped me. It is nothing important what happened to me, but he tried to hit the tree. And thankfully, he hit something and stopped. Otherwise, the end of that trip would end up on East Street under the cars. He had a close call. Driving bicycles on the sidewalk, and his mother was behind him. Anyway, the habit of riding bikes on the street, on the sidewalks, should be retaught, and guarding themselves and the pedestrians.
Let's ask the sergeant to comment on that. What's the situation with bikes on the sidewalk, Sergeant?
Yeah, I definitely didn't hear the whole thing, but for your question, Lee, with bikes on the sidewalk, it is illegal to ride a bike on the sidewalk. You have to with a bicycle, you actually, all road traffic laws apply. So you actually have to stop at red lights. You have to ride on the right of way. You can't ride against traffic. All the same laws apply. It's just extremely difficult to enforce. But it is illegal to ride a bicycle or anything on the sidewalk.
I think there's a second half of that of the VO scooters just
Yeah.
being on the sidewalk. Is that like?
I know downtown is getting demolished with it. It's been a very tough situation downtown. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I got enough to deal with East Shore and Fairhaven. I kind of like put my blinders on for the rest of the part of the city. So, but I know we don't have the issues that downtown is plagued with. I know we don't have that. Knock on wood, hopefully, we don't have that in Fairhaven. It has not been an issue in Fairhaven. It's mostly juveniles taking advantage of the cheaper rides and they're making their ways downtown, and that's been a extreme nuisance. The city's working on geofencing it, hours that you can't go to certain areas, and I think that's in the works, but it has been a big problem.
Just to be clear, Sergeant, if a resident who is not a person that's signed up for that service, if there's a bike, one of these scooters, or even one of the bikes on their property or blocking the sidewalk, we're within our rights, right, to move it out of the way, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's, your property, if it's impeding the area, I don't know if there's designated, I gotta get more well versed on it, to be honest with you, Lee, but, we haven't really dealt with it in Fairhaven too much. At least I haven't seen it, if I could be wrong. Obviously, I see the VO bikes, I just haven't seen it come up as an issue, the way it's been everywhere else.
Well, this gentleman is pointing out that apparently it is beginning to be an issue, and so anyone that sees one you're within your right to move it out of the way. Because honestly, the police, they might see it, but there's a lot of stuff that the police are dealing with. So you are within your right to either remove it from your property or to move it out of the way for safety if someone's left it right in the middle of the sidewalk. I don't know if there is a customer service number for the company. The other thing that gets these things moving is for people to complain to the company that their customers are leaving them in inappropriate places. There are designated boxes for these, but clearly they're not always being left there, so. Okay, any other questions? I don't see any other questions. We're gonna move along. Thank you very much, Sarge. Please stay with us as long as you can.
Thank you, sir.
Moving right along, Livable City Initiative. Carmen, I do believe I saw you. If you would unmute yourself and please make a brief presentation and let's allow time for questions and answers. Okay? Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'm gonna be very quick then. One Grand Avenue is going to be repainted. They are working. It's gonna be a very expensive endeavor because it's right on the water, the riverbank. And, but they will be fixing that. I know that's been a concern for some of the residents who've written to me about it. But that will be beginning, I suppose, in August. That's what I was told. But that depends on the contractors that they get and the cost. But they will be doing it this summer. 85 Pierpont, we've talked about in
Carmen, just to be clear, this is the building that used to be the Warner Hardware store. It's the building that
That's
the
right.
outside wall is right in the water of the river, just for people to know.
Yes,
The last
yes.
building on the left as you're leaving Fairhaven. Okay, just for people to know.
That's exactly right. The yellow building.
Yeah.
They have to fix the windowsills, they have to fix some woodwork, and they have to paint. And they were talked to about that about 3 months ago. And I finally had the owner, he actually was in Alaska, and he said, Carmen, he called me today and he said, Carmen, we're ready to do it. We're trying to, it's going to be very expensive because we need special equipment to get to the side of the building that's right on the river bank. But it will be done. 85 Pierpont, I had mentioned to you that it had burned. Believe it or not, someone is actually buying that building and is going to rehab it. So that's pretty stunning since it was badly burned, but that is going to be purchased. 109 Chapel Street. I've been working on that for quite some time. There's civil citations on all these properties, by the way. 109 Chapel,
Carmen, which building is the one that was burned? And
85 Pierpont.
85.
85 Pierpont.
Okay, thank you.
And it was badly burnt. They have a wooden fence in the front, so actually it's actually pretty good because no one can get in. And it's not, you can't really see all the burnt stuff, so it's not an eyesore right now. I mean, it's a problem, but it's going to be getting dealt with. 109 Chapel, which has also been on people's radar, is going to be, believe it or not, rented. They've been cleaning it out, but people are dumping still on it. I called them up the other day. I said, you got to make sure that you mow the grass and keep the tree belt, mowed and passable for people. They did do that. And they assured me that it was gonna be rented by the end of the month. One in on Ferry, the second floor is rented. The first floor is still boarded up. Uh, I was going to,
Carmen, as you're going property by property, we're having a hard time understanding which is the property. So if you could slow down when you say the address so that people can know which property you're talking about. The
oh,
one
okay,
that,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to rush so that, you know.
the mowing of the lawn is which
The mowing of
property?
the lawn, the trash removal is 109 Chapel Street. It has been
Okay.
closed for quite some time. It belongs to Ocean Management. And it has been a blight, and they have a civil citation on that property, but they
What's
have been
What's the next property?
191 Ferry Street, which is also an Ocean Management property. They rented the second floor. The first floor is still boarded up. It still looks like a blight. But what they have said to me is that they've been broken into twice, even with someone living there now on the second floor. So they are insisting on keeping the boards up, which I want to pull down, but they're leaving them there until they rent the apartment. And they said they have a couple of candidates and they will let me know, at the end of next week if they've rented it out to one of those people. It's been a very hard apartment to rent because nobody wants to live there, and also because of the vagrants and stuff that gather around and pretty much in front of that property. It's a problem. It's presented a real problem. But it's hopefully will be rented and the boards will be off, so it'll look less blighted. But they have been keeping it clean, which was one of my biggest concerns. 580 Ferry Street. I had bought that up a couple of months ago. It is still looking bad. However, I was finally able to communicate with the owner of that property. He is elderly. He is disabled. He needs a lot of help. Actually, tomorrow I'm working to help him get all the landscaping done. We're meeting out there with a contractor. There's very little that the poor man can afford. I'm trying to get him help from the city to help him, fix the outside of his house. But he is very willing and anxious to come into compliance with the letter. 292 and 286 Ferry Street. That's the corner of Exchange and Ferry. It's an empty lot and a boarded up house. That particular person, the owner, has refused on all levels to become compliant. Uh, it actually is getting worse. I called up because I call him all the time and have expressed concerns over the condition of that property and have told him, we're trying to fix this main stretch here and your properties are in bad shape. Uh, I've been, we did meet with the hearing officer. The hearing officer gave him until July 23rd to comply. I did call him and tell him that he was not even working toward compliance. He is not going to file some sort of a complaint against me for harassment, but I have to do what I have to do, and this man doesn't want to do it. And I guess his MO has been to intimidate anyone who tries to force him into compliance. And did that with the past neighborhood specialist as well. But I'm not going to give up, regardless of how he feels. I'm trying to do my job, and at
Carmen,
some point,
how many more properties do you have? Because your time is up.
oh,
You have
okay,
a-
okay. Well, just know, please, everyone, take my number down and call me if you have any complaints whatsoever. I'm working on stuff. If you don't see something happening as quickly, it sometimes just doesn't. It just doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while, but things are being worked on. Please call me. Please let me know if you're concerned about a property. If I'm on it, I will let you know what the status is. And if I'm not on it, thank you so much, and I will get on it. But that's it. I mean, there are lots of properties like that.
Carmen, please put your number in the chat. It's also on the agenda, on every agenda, but some people don't have the agenda, so if you put your number in the chat. And what I would
Sure, I
ask
did
you,
already, but I'll do it again.
I would ask you to consider, Carmen, if you could prepare, you're doing so much work on so many properties. You could prepare a spreadsheet of the properties you're working on and give it to us. We can circulate it and then people can ask you about the properties that they are most concerned about because it's close to them. And if there's an issue with something where you need for us to know, then you can focus in on the properties that are of greatest interest to the people, but they can have a sense of all the work that you're doing. Could you possibly provide us with a spreadsheet?
I'm gonna try to do that. I'll try to do that. Yeah, yeah.
That would be helpful. Then people get a sense of the big picture, but we don't get bogged up on house by house. We only talk about the ones that either you need help with, you need for us to know, talk to the alders, I need support this, or I need support that way, or someone is, that house is in front of me or next to me. Does that make sense to people to do that? Yeah, okay, so some thumbs up here. Any questions in the room about Carmen's report? You can always ask her, and I don't see any questions. in the room. Any questions online about Carmen's report?
Lee, if I may just ask, she reminded me about one Grand Avenue. So I did have numerous complaints, Grand and Front Street, overnight as well with the parties. They were renting out the rear of one Grand, which is actually the Front Street across from 180 Front Street. And it's like a little garage hut, and it's been a disaster, a complete disaster. Cars all over the place, music till 4 in the morning. I got a lot of calls, rightfully so, from constituents and people in the area the next day. I worked with building, zoning, fire marshals, everybody. Meeting management owns that building. They are same situation. They already ripped up the lease of the tenants. They are hopeful that they will voluntarily exit without further penalty. And the person is out of state. And I think they're coming back this week. That shouldn't be an issue moving forward, but it was a huge issue. It should be rectified. Should be done. That's all.
Thank you for that update.
And if I could just add one more thing very quickly. The sergeants and I work very closely, particularly on houses where there may be suspected, drug use or drug selling. And we are really working on hotspots within Fairhaven. I try to help the sergeants in any way I can with a letter. It's kind of difficult, but we're working together to resolve some of these issues because a lot of people, more than blight, are concerned with the drug dealing and the drug use in Fairhaven.
So it'd be great, like I said, if you provide that spreadsheet and then you're able to say, without getting into private particulars, what you're working on, then people can focus in on the ones that are of most interest. We thank you very much for your report, Carmen. We're gonna move on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next point on the agenda is the number 6 is the constant reminder. Every month we remind you that once a quarter, our representative on the civilian review board comes in. So the next quarterly meeting would be the August meeting, and that's when Jaywan will come in and let you know, and you can ask him questions about anything that's being reviewed in relation to the police. Okay, do we have anyone from economic development from the city online? Is there anyone? Not, I don't see anyone. We're maintaining this space because when they're fully staffed up, they typically do have someone that comes in and talks to us. So we're not gonna eliminate that from the agenda, but just keep reminding them. We would ask the alders if you would just kind of remind them that we'd love to see them at our monthly meeting. Just, they don't have to come every month if there's something to report, but if something's come up, there's
always stuff to report.
There's always stuff. Good point. Okay, so with that, oh, yes, sir.
For those blank places, can you add the contact numbers or names
For which ones?
for the economic development? For example?
Okay, so we don't have a name there because there is not a person yet. We could just put the general number of economic development, but that's not gonna be helpful. Where you see that there's a phone number and email, it's the specific person. It's our district manager, it's our LCI representative. There used to be a name there when there was a woman, but then she left the city. That's why there isn't a name there. But I'm glad that you brought that up because it allows us to say that. Okay, so you may have seen, we cleaned our agenda up. It's much shorter and it's much more succinct and really focused. So now we are on the meeting agenda items that are new, upcoming. So the first one happens to be one that I am making a presentation about, which is we have a campaign that we have paid for materials. and we have people organizing cleanups all over Fairhaven. Frank Redente, who isn't here, the alder, he has been instrumental in getting the Flynn Project, which are people who grew up in Fairhaven. They're coming up to clean. We're announcing these cleanups. If you have time, people who are online, people in the room, if you have time, please learn about the cleanups in your area. That's the biggest thing you could do, is give us a couple of hours of your time. But some of you you can't do that, okay? So the next thing you can do, the next thing down is if you could keep the front of your house or the front of your business. You don't have to pick up anywhere, just pick up right in front. And if you promise to do that, then I will give you one of these. You don't have to bend down. You just take this and you can pick stuff up without even touching it. Anyone who's online, you're not seeing what I'm showing here, but it's one of these picker-upper things. And it's plastic and you can keep it in your car, at your house. Just pick up in front of your house, okay? Or your business. Question?
No, please give me one.
Okay. Oh, we have the first taker right here in the room. And we're gonna have an official handoff right here.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Okay, there you go. First taker. We have a bunch of them. Okay, next thing, if you can't do that, then in front of your house, support the campaign. We'll give you a lawn sign, you put this on and you put it in front of your house. Let people know that there's a website where they can get information about cleanups and everything that we're doing to clean up Fairhaven. These are free. Anyone who want to take one right now, we'll do an official handoff. There you go, official handoff. If you're not in the room, there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking one. Okay, by the way, not only a resident of the area, but also a business owner. So you got a twofer there. The next thing you can do is, if you can't put one of those up, then if you own a business or if you have a window, you can put a sign up and it's bilingual. And the sign tells people that the program exists and where the website is. We got to work together. We have to clean up. We need people to clean up. We need people to say we're cleaning up, and people need to see it be clean. So you want to take one of those too? There you go. All right, everybody's a winner. Everybody, I have enough, I can give to everybody. Okay, and then if that isn't enough, then see, we get getting small as well. So we have these cards in Spanish and English, and there's a bunch of them over there. You can take some, leave them ask the business owner, of course, but if you go to one of the businesses on Grand Avenue, leave a few there. Maria Alejandra online? Okay, Maria Alejandra is the new staff person from GASB, the Grand Avenue Special Services District. They are working together. When you go down Grand Avenue, you'll see some businesses already have that big green sign. They've already received the pickers. If you notice that it's clean in front of a business on Grand Avenue, and you go into that business, tell them, I saw that it's clean in front of your business. Thank you. And if you see that it's not that clean and you're friends with the owner, you know them, say, hey, can you help us out? We're all trying to clean up. Can you just clean right in front of your business? Because it really, really makes a difference. So those are all the different levels that we have of participation, from a couple of hours once a month or every other month to clean up, all the way down to simply leaving these cards in places like at the library. But don't leave them here because we already have them here. If you run out of these and you want more, at my house, 29 Clinton Avenue, they are on the porch, nicely organized. Come to my house, pull in the driveway so you're safe, take as many as you want. And when you finish, we have many, many, many more being stored at the Mary Wade home. I will go get more and put them on the porch. You can pick them up morning, noon, or night. You don't need to knock on my door. Just go right on the porch and take them. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Any questions about cleaning up Fairhaven in the room? Yes, sir.
Picking up the trash is a great initiative, but besides the litter that's around Fairhaven, we have a lot of graffiti. Is there some way we can come up with an initiative to clean up the graffiti? Because I put numerous requests into the city to clean up graffiti on city property and private property, and nothing has ever done. So I'm wondering if there's something that the residents of Fairhaven can do itself. I know we can't go on people's private property, but can we do something with the city property, you know?
That's an issue of, the city would have to say, I don't know if Carmen's still on, whether someone could clean it up on city property. The truth of the matter is that some stuff has been done on it. The city gets money, they use it, then they run out of money. So what we're trying to
Can you
do
run
is.
that by me again? Lee, if I can help with that answer. What was the question?
Wait, I was gonna call on you next. Yes, go ahead. Tell us about graffiti. Go
Oh,
ahead,
you're
Carmen.
talking, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we have not had the money. We used to have $30,000 that we would go, but it was all over the city. We have seen a great uptick in graffiti. It is nasty. I was talking to the bridge guy today from Public Works, and he spends for five gallon pails of the anti-graffiti solvent, $3,500. This is not cheap stuff. The moment he paints, he was telling me, and it's my same experience. People, it's like a brand new canvas, and they graffiti it again. Um, I have a critical mass now, and of graffiti. Maria Alejandra is also helping me from Grand Avenue Special Services District, so we will be sending out letters to the business owners who have on their roll down gates graffiti, as well as private property. There's a critical mass, so we're going to be attacking those, and we're just basically putting it on the owner to take care of. And I know they were victimized, and it's not their fault, but the city cannot. We just can't afford it. We don't have the money.
So the question is there anything that a private citizen can do about graffiti on public property, one? And number two, is there something that you're doing that we should know about, that we can say to the owner of a business, here's where you can get help? Anything to help that a citizen can do? Tell us that specifically.
Okay, so a citizen can, they can come to me, depending on where the graffiti is, and if it's public property, we can get the paint for you and the paint brushes. That's not a problem. All you need to do is call me, tell me the location, I verify it, and then we can go ahead with it. If it's private property, it's just going to land on the private property owner's, bill. It's just going to have to be a bill they have to suck up. And for that, there'll be letters and citations given.
Okay, well, please, if you're gonna prepare that spreadsheet of blighted properties you're working on, and you wanna add to that, here's where there's graffiti that I'm working on, then that way people will know that you're at least, that something, that it's acknowledged, there's a problem here, and we just have to put it on the list and we get to it when we get to it. That's the best
Yeah.
we can. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. Any questions online? Anyone online have any questions? By the way, I want to just point out that Fairhaven Community Health Center has been instrumental, along with the Mary Wade Home and David Salinas at the district, in supporting the cleanup efforts. These were bought by David Salinas from the district. He bought them and gave them to us as a community. The flyers and everything, they were designed by people that these businesses that are here, they're actually large nonprofits, they help to support this. So again, I'm not saying that you have to say thank you or anything, but if you do thank them, I think they would appreciate it. So just be aware that we are working small businesses, large businesses, nonprofits, and then we need you as an individual. Just do whatever you feel that you can to contribute to this effort. Any questions online? I don't see any. Any questions in the room?
I
Yes.
have a question. Does Carmen have any help? Because she's doing so much.
Yeah. Carmen, list all the people on your team.
List all
done,
the people on my team?
Yeah, the whole team is Carmen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a team, but you guys you guys do call me and bring my attention to things that are important, and I respond to phones. I'm always on the phone, so whether you text me or not, you'd be surprised how fast I'm back on that phone.
We're the team, right?
We're the team, Carmen. We're your team. Okay, let's move along. let's move on. Okay, so everybody got it. We're
Yeah.
cleaning up Fairhaven. It's summertime. Let's do it. Okay, Kirk is he's not in the room, but he's in the library. And we're gonna put him up. Kirk, tell us about all the stuff that's happening in the library.
Well, with the advent of us being ready for the grade site this summer, we actually have a little bit less going on than we normally do. I think you guys are going to probably hear a little bit about this very soon. But a week from today, Thursday the 10th at 6 p.m. There's going to be a program here about Front Street development. I'll just leave it at that because I think there's going to be more said about that soon. Earlier today, and I think both of our tutors happen to be in the room at this moment. But the New Haven Independent did a piece on two of our more popular programs. Our Spanish Conversation Club that our own Manuel Romero has been running for a little over a year now. And Susan Hackett runs our English Conversation Club, which goes past my time. So it's at least 9, 10 or more years that's been going on. But it was a really nice write-up about the folks who come in on Wednesdays. The Spanish Club meets each Wednesday from 4 to 5. Not this coming Wednesday because Manuel will be on a well-deserved vacation. But all other Wednesdays, and then Susan's program runs each Wednesday from 4 to 6. So if you're at one end of our main floor, you might be with the folks who are practicing English, and if you're at the other end, you will be with the folks who are learning Spanish. The other big thing that is going on this summer involves you, and that is for all ages, from the youngest readers up through adults, is our summer reading program. You just simply pick up a booklet and read. You fill out the form, and if you complete it, you are possibly in the running to get a prize. So if you're already reading, or you just need the inspiration to start reading, that prize could be it. But otherwise, a lot going on here as usual, and hope to see you sometime soon.
Well, great. Thank you very much for that concise report. We appreciate it. Any questions in the room about anything going on in the library? Any questions online about stuff going on in the library? Oh, Kurt, what did we just talk about?
I have a question.
Question.
Yes, this is Claudia Herrera. And the reason I connected to the meeting because I just read Independence article that Kurt was mentioned. And as you know, Lee, Elder Caroline, and the graduate, the board committee, we are working in some videos for all the people behind the business. And I thought that can be a good idea for me to get more understanding about the Hispanic Club. And there is any chance that I would like to go there and talk to them and see what's going on. And if people need to know who we are. And especially in the library, there are so many families. There might be already customers for these people. There's a lot of stories that we can share. So how can I connect with them? Or in the major team is if they will be interested in a project like this.
May I suggest to you, Claudia, that you come in and speak with Kirk directly or one of the other librarians about how you might be able to do that here at the library. That would be a great thing. Okay?
Okay, so that is not going to apply with that because the one I'm interested is the Hispanic Club.
Right, but he can connect you with the people who run the Spanish Club.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you, Lee. That's it.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other questions? I don't see any online. Any questions in the room? Okay, before we go to the Alder's reports, which is the last point, we now do have quorum.
Yes.
We have quorum. So may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the June meeting? I need someone to
So
move that.
moved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So moved
yeah.
by, who moved it?
Fresh then.
Pereza moved it. May I have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, second by Mary Ann. We don't need to vote, right? It's approved.
You just have to, so if anyone has any question or concerns with last month's agenda, speak now, or
Yeah.
they'll be assumed to be good.
No questions about the minutes of the last meeting? I don't see any in the, on the Zoom. I don't see any in the room, so they are approved. Thank you very much. Okay, so last point on the agenda is the alders. We will at the end ask if anyone has any quick announcements, but first, let's go through the alders. Let's start with Alder Ellen Cooper. I believe she sent a report. Would you please, Madam Secretary?
Yes. So she celebrated Riverside Academy and Wilbur Cross's high school students for their work on painting the trash barrels at Worcester Park. Also on June 10th, the legislation committee passed 3 ordinance amendments that allow installation of cameras on the left-hand side of school buses to improve public safety by catching perpetrators on film and issuing a $250 fine to anyone who speeds past a school bus unloading children. Updates to the housing code to streamline notification of landlords and to raise max flag fines. And also update to the process for LCI rental licensing program. This adds anti-retaliation language and adds reform to hotels and rooming housing licenses. These amendments will come to the full board of alders for a vote in their August meeting. And then on June 21st, Alder Ellen, Mayor Elicker, and Congresswoman DeLauro spoke at the celebration of Paybay's 100th year and the renaming of Worcester and Brown Street as Frank and Philomena Paybay Corner. Okay.
All good news. All good news. Thank you very much. Alder Carolyn Canby Smith is present with us, and
hi, everybody.
yeah, you want to
Hi.
come
Should
I come there?
to the podium up here, so people will see you.
Wow.
Yeah, come.
Let's do it. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. Ordinarily, I have at this, the first Thursdays, it's the City Services Environmental Policy Committee, and we don't have it this month. And so I always have to send in my updates. So I'm just so excited and privileged that I actually get to be here with you all. I love the Fairhaven CMT. I have 3 updates. One is that I've updated you all before about an underpass park project. So Ward 9 includes parts of East Rock and parts of Fairhaven with I-91 that divides the 2 neighborhoods. And under one of the underpasses, right behind the Ralph Walker hockey rink, we've been working with 30+ young people, neighbors in both East Rock and Fairhaven to turn that into a community park. It's a large area where there's a lot of illegal dumping. It's a real area of neglect, and we hope to turn it into an area of purpose and reconnection. And I'm so excited to share that we received a grant from AARP for $17,500 to move that project to its first phase, which is really exciting. And we have a community design session on August 6th at 6 p.m. right under the underpass, and it's a time for you to share your ideas. If this were to be a multi-use space, what would you want to see? After the meeting, I'll send the RSVP link to the CMT so that you all can RSVP and get any other information. If you want to be involved in this project, we welcome you in. And a huge shout out to Mary Wade Home, David Hunter for being involved, as well as Junta for Progressive Action, Kiana, who has helped supported us in engaging some young people who are interested in urban planning and urban design. Second update is that me and a few others have launched a CPR series that's going to be at every single library branch. And, you know, the reason why, you know, I'm going to be a little personal, you know, the reason, you know, I always thought that CPR was a really important skill, but it really hit close to home for me over the summer when a really close friend of mine had a heart attack on top of East Rock Park. And because 2 volunteers who were nearby, who were just cleaning up the park, knew CPR, he is alive today. And so I think that, you know, for me, it's just elevated in terms of how important of a skill it is. It's often quite expensive, actually, to get trained. And so, partnered with the Yale Emergency Department, the hospital, and the library to launch a free series over the next couple months. The event series is online. You can sign up. I believe the next one is at Fairhaven, the Fairhaven branch. I think it's fully signed up, but there should be another one coming up in the future. And again, they're at all library branches. And, one of my hopes is that this is, a skill that we think about as part of, what it means to be a neighbor. We register to vote, we get a library card, and we learn CPR. The third update that I wanted to share is, the city of New Haven has over 40 boards and commissions. These are boards and commissions where you can get engaged in a number of different issues, whether it's parks, support for young people. These are areas you can get involved. They have open spots. And so something I'll send along to the Fairhaven CMT is a link where you can, if you're interested and there's an open space or a vacancy on one of the board or commissions, raise your hand. And it's a really excellent opportunity to get involved, and would love to see even more Fairhaveners and Fairhaven neighbors on boards and commissions. Those are my 3 updates. Thank you all so much for what you do for the community.
Quick question before you step away. The CPR training, does that cover just adults or infants and toddlers as well?
That's a good question. I think the trainer does know about infant and toddler CPR. And so I will check on that question. It's a really good question, Sophia. Another question we've gotten that's similar is whether or not the CPR training is open to young people. And it is. It's open to anyone who can perform CPR. In fact, Dr. Yang, who I partnered with, mentioned that a story that really stood in his mind was an 8-year-old who saved their parent because they knew CPR. And so I'll check in on the question around whether or not because you're right, it's a distinct sort of practice, infant and toddler, but I'll check in on that. Thanks, Cynthia.
And then do you get a certificate that you're certified to be a CPR person?
That's a good question,
Usually you do.
Claudia. I think usually it's certainly definitely, a 2-hour training where you get the skill. And I know that the Red Cross provides you an actual certification. Let me check in on that. It's definitely the skill. I'm not sure it's the same, for example, early childcare providers have to get a certification. I'm not sure if it would qualify for that. It's definitely, again, the skill, but let me check in to see if it's also an official certification. Not quite sure about that, but I can text Dr. Yang right now, both of those questions, and get you some answers at the very least at the beginning of early next week.
This is the certification, they provide certification, so you can see each one.
Yeah.
And show.
Yeah, it's not technically a certification right here. Actually, I designed these. I'm not a designer, but I designed these. The goal of these, they're calling it the blue card, is kind of similar to the CPR, the COVID-19 card. Because the thing about, CPR is one of those things where you get trained, and within a year, you might get a little nervous. So much of it is about confidence. And so our hope is that people, have the opportunity, access to be retrained every year so they can continue to have that confidence. And so that card is less of a certification, but more of almost like a confidence boost that you can keep in your wallet. It's officially signed by the trainer. And also a reminder to say, oh, all right, a year's been up, I should get retrained.
We have another question in here.
I'm interested. How do I sign up?
So great question, ma'am. So you can sign up on the library calendar of events. In fact, maybe you can even sign up here, but if you look at the calendar events and you search CPR on the library website, they should all pop up. And if you have a tricky time, I'll be here for the rest of the meeting. So happy to navigate that and look at that. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very much.
everybody.
To one of Carolyn's points, I happen to serve on the library commission, and it has been a wonderful experience. I'm in my 3rd year. I highly recommend to anyone who has the time that you find a commission and serve. You learn so much about the way the city works. So thank you very much for those announcements. The next alder on the list is Alder Anna Festa. She is not here. I don't think she submitted a report. Next alder, Sarah Miller, step up.
I can do it from here.
Okay, well, if you would just stand up so people will know.
Okay.
Then,
I
no, you can stand right there because I'm gonna look.
Okay, I'll come over here. So I have 3 quick announcements. One is, tomorrow, our neighbors on Bright Street are holding a block party, starting at 4 o'clock until it's over. So everybody's welcome to attend. It's organized by the neighbors. We'll have the street closed off, etc. So if you haven't been to Bright Street lately, or you're looking for something to do tomorrow, you are all invited. I'm also gonna invite Fred to talk about the meeting we're having here next Thursday, the 10th, about her development plan development on Front Street. The only other announcement I'll add before I turn it over to her is we are also gonna be closing the street next to City Seed, Exchange Street, next Friday to do what we're calling Friday Food Fest. We have like 8 local food vendors, bomba, dance and drumming, some kids activities. Salsa, Salsa's restaurant will be there, so there'll be some Fairhaven restaurants, also some others that aren't as familiar to our folks. So it's just gonna be like an opportunity to relax on a Friday night, support local businesses.
What day
And it's
again?
where our neighbors. July 11th, it's on the City Seed socials, we just put up a new poster with everything there. So you're all invited to that too, that's a week, let's see, Thursday, a week from tomorrow. You wanna come up?
Thank you for allowing me to make my little pitch here. Thursday, Backrad, and I'm on Front Street, 185 to 212 to 13 Front. And this is a long, long waiting for this project that I'm going to present next week on Thursday to the community for their input, for their knowledge, and for their participation. That is the development of about 500 linear feet of Quinnipiac River's shoreline and the land behind it to a mixed-use development project. And it's a very exciting, very diversified project. And I am very lucky and very, I would say, I'm proud that finally I've been able to put everything together so I can come to you and do this project and get your input and your participation. And later on, you're actually being part of the project because the project has a lot of public area, that would allow people in Fairhaven to go through it, participate in front in the water and the activities. See you next Thursday. Thank you.
At 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
In this room.
In this room.
And we will, the link is posted in the flyer, which clerk has. It's also, we can provide it so it can be shared with the CMT. So we'll have a hybrid setup. Thank you to Adam for your help with that. So kind of the same setup we have here with a different link. Any questions?
Okay. And the next alder on the list is Frank Redente, who is not here, but did he send us any information to report? Okay, so we'll move along. Then Jose Crespo, 16, he is not here. Oh, he is here. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, good to see you. Come on up, come on up.
Good evening, everyone. So for Ward 16, I'm working with a developer to establish a rec center, almost like once upon a time we used to have in Milford Rec. We also want to create a skating rink, and we also want to create offices for employment and those who are looking to go back into the workforce. So TBD, we're going to start having some town hall meetings so everybody can provide their input. And we're also going to have virtual intelligence and virtual reality rooms for folks to also be able to spend some time with the family. We're going to have a small cafe area, and we're going to do local hiring. I'm also working with folks, if you need a speed hump or you're looking to get a street paved or a sidewalk paved, let me know. We're working on that. And yeah, anything you need, just give me a holler. Any questions? Concerns? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to see you. You too. Okay, folks, so just a couple of ending reminders about things, quick announcements, and then if anyone from the floor has an announcement, just raise your hand and I'll acknowledge you. I want to acknowledge the opening of the brand new Fairhaven Community Health Center building at the corner of Grand and James Street. Yeah, I think deserving an applause. It's a beautiful building and, Sue is with us somewhere. There she is, right there. And, she, has been instrumental in making this happen. And, two things I want you to know about the building. And then, Sue, if you want to say something, I went on a tour with, Sarah and we saw the history, the whole history up on the third floor in beautiful pictures and old letters. And so if you're interested in Fairhaven history, you have to get permission, get up there and see this long wall of the history. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is, so, many of you know I do tours of Fairhaven to show people the challenges and the opportunities. And so yesterday I had the Sustainable Connecticut Fellows here, 12 people from around the state that are doing work with nonprofits. And it's the first time ever that I got to bring a group into the building and to show them the beautiful map at the entrance. Sue, is there anything you would like to say quickly about the opening of the building? How you feel, what you're thinking?
Just thanks. Yes, two things. We actually started seeing patients this past Monday. It's very exciting. Number one. Number two is that we're planning a neighborhood event. We're thinking it's probably going to be in September, where we open our doors on likely on a Saturday and just provide. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we want to make sure that everyone in the community is aware, has an opportunity to visit. As Lee says, we tried very hard. We listened to the community, and so we worked really hard to do they wanted a lot of color, a lot of light, a welcoming feeling, and those are the principles that guided the building. And we're very pleased, and it's your building. This is a Fairhaven building. We really want it, everybody to feel like it's theirs, and it's a place where they can gather. Just a parenthetical, in addition to the timeline that Lee referred to, up on the third floor, we also have two large rooms. One we call a meeting room, one we call a training room, and we very much want to make those resources available to the community. More to come. Bill Crocker, who is our director of training at Fairhaven, is in charge of that. But if anybody finds themselves needing a space, we want, reach out to us. We need to institute a mechanism to make that easy, probably on our website. But we're up and running, and we couldn't be happier. So thank you all.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you for all you do for the community. And then I believe I did see David Hunter on as well. I just wanted to acknowledge that Chatham, Mary Wade Home and Chatham Place did have an event last week called Beer on the Pier. And of course, it's a fundraiser, and so you have to pay to go in. But it was a wonderful event for a couple of reasons that I want to mention. One is the band that played Goodnight Blue Moon, all the members live here in Fairhaven. We have a very good band that lives right here on Exchange Street, and they were the main players. And then they had beer and wine, and the beer was New England Brewery, which has been a partner and a friend to Fairhaven for many different events that we've done. So is David?
I don't think I've seen him on.
Oh, okay, maybe I was imagining. And then, having just made that announcement, I want to acknowledge Mary Ann wants to make an announcement. Go ahead, Mary Ann.
Yes, I just wanted to announce that the garden is planted and doing very well, and probably a week from Monday, we'll be bringing the vegetables into the library for people to take.
If you haven't seen it, when you leave here, you're here, go to the back. It's beautiful. The garden is beautiful back there. Thank you, Mary Ann, for all that you do. Okay, and then anyone in the room have any quick announcement that they want to make? Anything, either it could be something that's coming up or something that just happened that you think was pretty good? Yeah, go ahead.
I just heard back from Dr. Gang, so I know that.
Okay, go ahead and tell us the information. And then if you have an announcement and you're online, just raise your hand and then we'll acknowledge you.
Just really quickly, so I heard back from Dr. Gang, so the CPR classes are just for adults, as in it's only adult CPR, open to everybody, adult CPR, so not infant and toddler, to answer your question, Sophia. And I think for Claudia's, I think it was Claudia's question, it's not an official certification. So really, you can think about it as focused on adult CPR, open to everybody to really learn this skill. Now, the last thing I'll say is that sounds like a problem that we should solve though, right? I think Claudia brought up a great point, for early childcare providers, for example, they have to get trained, it's expensive, it adds to a childcare provider's operating expenses. That feels like a problem we should solve. So if anyone's interested in exploring that, whether it's furthering a partnership with the Yale Emergency Department to provide free certification, maybe in partnership with the Red Cross, I'd be really interested in exploring that because I think that's a problem we should solve. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. That's effective governance. Just have a question, get the answer. Final thing.
Can I
do an announcement?
make a switch?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, come on up.
Hi, everybody. I've been doing all this,
Some of you
web
may recognize Adam from
Yes.
the little box up there for 2 years.
I never get to come in because it's much more convenient and stable to try and do all the computer stuff from a big computer than sitting there. But you can tell, hi, everybody. We're doing something new where we can see the audience, you can see me. I know that this position is dark. It's something weird about the lighting in this library room. We could either see the projector or the people in the room better. And so, yeah, but if you have any thoughts, comments, feedback, please send it to the fairhavencmt@gmail.com. And also on what Dr. Lagarde had said about the new space, I also work for the Fairhaven Health Center. And so I've been in there. I think that new space, once they figured out how to rent it out and all that kind of stuff, might be a good space for these meetings or anything like this meeting, because it's a very similar amount of space, but it's got all the cameras and all that kind of, like the technology is brand new and all that kind of stuff already built in. So if you have thoughts about, if there's, because I know that we used to be at the substation, and then we moved here. And so if you have, I love the library, keep it at the library, or I don't care where it is, please let us know.
Great. Thank you very much. Any other announcements anyone in the room wants to make? I don't see any announcements. Anyone online? I don't see any announcements there. I do want to ask you all, if you have not had a chance, go to the corner of Grand and Ferry and look at the most beautiful, gigantic mural, bigger than this long wall here, that's being painted around the corner from the pharmacy. The detail in it is the history of Fairhaven, and it's beautiful. The painters are there. It's I'm sorry, I can't remember the names. It's one white man, a woman, and one black man. And the three of them are the artists, and they're just doing a phenomenal job. And when they finish, it's so big that across the street from the supermarket, you can see all the detail. It's that big. It's that big. So please go and take a look at it. Enjoy the mural in front of the library. Enjoy the 4th of July. And seeing no other announcements.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly just introduce myself. My name is Magda Natal, and I am running for Alder of Ward 16.
Okay.
Just wanted to let you all know.
And okay, so with that, may I have announcement?
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah.
July is my daughter's birthday.
Oh. Okay. Gotta know that. That's important. Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? So moved from Brenda, second. Sarah second, or Adam second, and we are concluded. We will see you all next month, first Thursday of the month. Take care. Bye-bye.